Hi, I'm Danny and these are my Diecast Disasters. This video is going to be a kind of tribute to the artwork of Mead, who sadly passed away last year. I'm going to be restoring and customizing the Hot Wheels Sentinel 400 Limo, which is based off of one of his drawings. Sid was a futurist concept artist, and he's pretty well known for his design work on films such as Aliens, Blade Runner and TRON. Hot Wheels produced their version from 2002 until 2006, and I think this was a 2003 version with the police livery on it. It says unofficial police business on there. So taking a closer look at it off of the turntable, it's pretty play worn. A lot of those tampos have rubbed off, the paint's a bit chipped, and it's missing plenty of chrome off of the base there. The windscreens are in pretty good condition, the wheels are a little bit scruffy and the axles are rusted. Let's crack on and take the car apart. I'll start by drilling out the posts. There's two of them, one at the back and one at the rear. I'm using a 4mm drill to drill them out. And then I can pop the bottom off and take it all apart. There we go, now that's apart. I'll strip the paint off of the casting with some paint stripper. And here it is with all the paint stripped off. Now I'll give it a clean up with the wire brush on my rotary tool, and this will get rid of the oxidation there and any of those scraps of paint that are still on it. Here it is looking a bit cleaner and shinier. Before I paint it though, there's a couple of little marks on it, a couple of little scuffs on the bonnet there, and it's a bit rough on the side at the rear there. So I'll give it a quick sand. There we go, that's a little bit smoother. So now I can crack on and start painting it. Start out with some black primer. There we go, now it's nice and black. I'm going to be painting it with candy, so the next coat of paint I give it is some magnesium. And then I hit it just from the top down with some silver. So I've got a sort of a two-tone metallic coat on it now. There we go. Sort of hard to see, it's pretty subtle, but hopefully it will make a bit of a difference. And next I'm going to paint it in candy blue. There's the first coat. I ended up giving it 3 coats and it turned out looking like this. So hopefully you can see how it fades down a bit darker at the sides there. Now I can move on to the base. The first thing I need to do is get those wheels and old rusty axles out of there so I can give them a clean up. I use my craft knife to trim off one of the tabs and then I should be able to just pop out the axle. There's the front one out. Now I'll do the rear one. Next I'm going to get the old chrome paint off of there. So I start with a little bit of caustic soda and some hot water and I'll drop it in. After a few seconds the chrome paint will be gone. So here it is after a rinse. Pretty rusty in those axle slots still, so I'm able to wash in some hot soapy water. And now it's ready for a coat of black paint. And then I painted it all in silver. And finally I'll detail those rear lights there. Onto the interior. It's actually a pretty cool interior, there's some nice details in there. I'm going to start out by painting it black. And now taking a look at those details in there, you can see that there's some little screens. There's a couple of screens for the passengers in the back, and there's one screen for the passenger in the front. So I thought I'd put something on them. I've just printed out some little tiny screens. There's a radar for the front there and max headroom for the back. There we go. I've just stuck them in there with a little bit of PVA glue. And I've done a little bit of detailing on the dash there. And I hit it with a satin varnish. Here's the windscreen. It's in pretty good condition actually, except it's a little bit scuffed. Now it can be pretty hard to get this smoky Hot Wheels plastic polished, but we'll see how it goes. I start out with some 2000 grit sandpaper. I sand off that scuffing. Now I give them a really good polish with some plastic polish. You have to polish for ages and ages. And then finally it got a dip in the self-shining floor polish. And finally for the wheels. Now you don't really see the back wheels and there's nothing wrong with those, and these front wheels are really small. I don't have any aftermarket replacements for them that are that small, So I'm just going to use the same wheels. So I start out with some CLR to get the rust off of the axles there. Just soak them in it for a little while. And then I just repainted the rims. I used the same silver that I painted the underside of the car in. So there we have it. Here are all the pieces of our Sentinel 400, refurbished, repainted and ready to go back together. So while I'm sticking that back together, we can just go back and take a look at what we started with. Here's our scruffy looking Sentinel 400 Limo, the police version. You'd hardly know it with those tampos all worn off. It's got rusty old axles and worn out wheels, and it's missing heaps of chrome off of the base there. Let's see if we can get it looking a bit more futuristic. Here it is, our finished, restored and customized Hot Wheels Mead Sentinel 400 Limo. That scruffy old paint job's gone and it's been repainted in a nice sort of two-tone candy blue. The base has been repainted in a nice silver. It's not as garish as the chrome. It's had those scruffy wheels tidied up and their rims repainted. It's had the interior detailed, even though it's a bit hard to see through that dark windscreen, which has also been cleaned up and given a good shine. This was a good fun model to do. Wasn't too difficult, any of it, and I'm really happy with how it came out. Be a nice one for my collection, as I'm quite a big fan of Sid's art. I well recommend checking some out if you haven't before. It's pretty easy to find on Google. And you can let me know what you think of the car in the comments down below. Before I go, I'll say thanks to everyone for the awesome comments and likes on my videos. Thanks heaps to my awesome Patreon supporters. If you'd like to join them, helping out the channel and helping me make videos like this for you to watch, you can check out my Patreon page. There's a link in the description down below, as well as a link where you can get 10% off of Starbond Super Glue. Thanks heaps for watching this video. I really hope you enjoy it. If you did and you'd like to see more like it, remember to subscribe and hit the bell, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends.